How to replace the lid and seat on a CleanSense 1500 and CleanSense 1500R. The lid is the easiest. It merely pulls out of the body. So with your right hand, you want to apply pressure and pull it out of the housing, like such. It'll actually flex ever so slightly, and you can take it out of the hinge. Then, on the left side, you'll want to wiggle and push until the lid comes off of the damper. To remove the seat, we're going to have to separate the upper and lower housing so we can get access to the damper. But before you do that, you need to remove the deodorizer cartridge on the side of the CleanSense, right there. Set that aside. Then we're going to remove the two screws on the back holding the upper and lower housing together. Then turn the seat over on its back, and with a flat blade screwdriver insert it into the two pry points and separate the housing by applying pressure down and up. That will allow you to pull the upper and lower housing apart. At this point, be careful of the wires. We're going to disconnect a few of them. Let me turn the seat so you can see. The upper and lower housing are apart. We need to separate the 5 sets of wires. First, on the right hand side, we're going to clip the wire tie very carefully without nipping the wires and remove that. Then we simply pinch the connector and pull it out of the printed circuit board. Do the same with the green, black, and red. The same with the two black. These connectors are color coded, and this is a 2-wire connector, so it can only go in this 2-wire. It won't fit over here into the red, the 3-wire. So don't worry too much about where they were when you took them off. It is a good idea sometimes, though, to take a still picture before you remove wires, just so you can make sure you get it back in the same order. Now that we've got those, we'll disconnect the remote control wire here. And moving over to the ribbon wire, and this one can be a little tricky. You want to push from the bottom, pinch it, and then pull it out. Now that the upper and lower housings are separated, to replace the seat, we need to remove the damper located here. This is marked with an S built into the plastic. This damper here is for the lid. So we take our Phillips screwdriver and unscrew then with a flat bladed screwdriver to help us, we will hold the damper in one hand and gently wiggle and pry it apart. Then with our flat bladed screwdriver, it'll help pull it out of the housing. Once this is out, the seat now dropped. So we'll set this aside. Then we are going to focus on the opposite side. And we merely pull and wiggle the wires out of the upper housing. Now, to replace your seat, first you want to take your new seat and gently feed the wires through the hole in the upper housing. And as you pull them through, you will be lining up the seat to go back into the hole. Once that is in, then we're ready to put the damper back in on the left side. Our seat damper, marked with an S on the top. We're going to line up the hole in our housing with the hole in our seat and insert the damper. And screw it back in. Reattach the screws that hold the damper in place. Gently snug those down, not too tight. And we are ready to reattach the wires. Now we're ready to reattach the wires and button the upper and lower housing together. We'll start in reverse order. We'll take the ribbon wire, connect that until it clicks. We'll take our multicolored wire with a teal connector, clip that in, and we'll take our three seat wires. We have our black with the red connection, our white, and final red. Then, if you have a wire tie, you can put one back on. If you don't, it is not critical. Okay. Now we want to put the upper and lower housings back together. This can be a little tricky, so take your time. First, we're going to turn this over and set it back down on the lower housing. Over on the cord side, I find it easier if you line that up first, then work your way across the back, come over to the water inlet side, and make sure that the housing is not overlapped, like that. Once you have things lined up, it will snap into place. And turn it back on its side. Push the lower and upper housings together until they snap, and reattach the screws in the back. That is how the seat is replaced. Now to put the lid back on, we first start with the left side with the damper. Line up the hole in the lid with the damper, pull it on, and then reverse the process where we apply pressure and gently pull the lid away from the body until it snaps into the hole. And there you have it. Now that you've got the seat and lid replaced, don't forget to reinsert your deodorant cartridge.